Hey there, hello. It's LaShanda Henry here, aka Sister Sense, and of course you know I help you make sense of making money online. Hopefully I am right on time for my fellow women entrepreneurs out there looking to get clear about your next big small business step. So today's web class is all about how you need to slow down so you can catch up. This is a conversation for those entrepreneurial spirits out there who feel like they're behind and are really interested in getting back on track. So thank you for joining me, whether you're joining me live or via the replay. But of course, if you're watching the replay, remember to drop into the comment box, hashtag replays rock, so I can see you, shout you out, and support you. I always love to connect with those ladies who participate in these web class sessions with me. So this is actually web class number 2 for me. This is the time of year that I talk about different things that you need to do to get back on track when the kiddies go back to school. And I have my other kitty, not quite a kitty, my puppy. I always call her a puppy because she's like this big, but she's going on 3 years old, right, Mama? When the kiddies go back to school, it's time for us to get back to business. So having catch up, back on track conversations is really something that I like to do at this time of year. So essentially what I'm going to do is to talk to you about 4 things that you need to be conscious of when it comes to getting back to where you want to be, especially if you feel like you're behind. Now, those 4 are as follows. Number 1, you want to catch up, slow down. Believe it or not, you need to slow down. And I know the urgency of getting to where you want to be sometimes makes you feel like you have to work harder and faster, but there's actually a secret to success that requires you to slow down the progress sometimes so that you can really ramp up your efforts. And we're going to talk about that today. So number 1, slow down. Number 2, ask for help. Number 3, stick to the plan. And number 4, share. These are some things that I've been talking about as part of my conversation around catching up and creating amazing. So we're going to dig into, for me, in a big way today, how you can do just that in these 4 core areas. Okay? So let's talk about this idea of you slowing down. This is a big one. Yesterday, I sent out a message to my community and I said, listen, do you need help? And it was such an interesting thing because I have to say it was a beautiful thing because quite a few ladies messaged me back. One lady said to me, I got your message and I was in near tears. Thank you so much for this. Another lady in my circle, she said to me, LaShanda, okay, this was just perfect. This message was right on time because I'm still feeling like I'm all over the place. But based on our conversation, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. But I feel like I'm missing something. And I said to her, you know what? Let's talk about what you need to be doing right now, right? I feel like I'm missing something. I feel like I'm behind. I have to do this. Slow down. Slow down. Time feels like it's moving quickly. Your life feels like it's moving quickly. You feel like everybody around you is moving quickly and maybe you're just going in slow motion, but you're supposed to. And I'll tell you exactly why. I said to her, well, one person in particular, and then I'll talk about a few of the conversations I had after I sent out that email on, do you need help? I need you to stick to the plan. You said to me in this email that you have this to do, this to do, this to do. Literally, you listed maybe about 3 or 4 things that you need to do. Start there. Sometimes you're in a space where you want to do so much that you're overthinking and, as I like to say, underperforming. Don't get caught up in the, am I missing this? Or, I should add this and this and this and this and this to the list. Don't get caught up in that. You know that there are things that you need to do. Literally, you are saying them in this message. So stick to the plan. Do those things. That's important, right? So I wanted to start off the conversation there because one of the things I talk about when it comes to catching up and really creating amazing is you figuring out how to stop the procrastinating bug that's inside of you. Now, I have something called the 28 Days Stop Procrastinating Challenge. And every day for 28 days, I help to motivate you to switch the procrastination person in you to the productivity pro that you want to be. Now, when I talk about that, one of the things I talk about is different types of procrastinating pro personalities, one of which is List, Love, and Liz. And you can drop in the comment box once I describe her if you are her. List, Love, and Liz loves to jot down everything that she wants to do. I'm going to do this. And good God, by the time she's done with the list, she's exhausted, she's intimidated, she's overwhelmed. She's like, girl, I'm done. Okay? If you ever find yourself in a space where you're feeling behind, you've got to check the different things that are causing you to fall off course. And sometimes it's that you're so focused on writing the list and making sure that you're checking it twice and everything's nice and you're not missing anything. And you're literally caught in this cycle of busy work, because the list isn't execution and implementation. It's just a list, right? So thinking about the particular young lady who checked in with me yesterday when I sent out the email and said, do you need help? Her response was, I do. I feel like I'm missing something because, yes, I know that, LaShanda, based on our conversation, I'm working on my program. I'm working on this content for my community, but I feel like there's still more that I need to do. I get that. But don't focus on the stuff that you feel like you're missing that you need to do. Focus on the stuff that's in front of you. Stick to the plan. Finish your program. Communicate with your audience. Build your list. Stick to that. Stick to those goals. And the things that you feel like you're missing, they're going to come into place. They're going to fall into place as you go through the process. One of my favorite signature Sister Sense sayings, hey Dawn, welcome my dear, is phase in your greatness. That's something that I say to myself and that I try to tell other clients all the time, especially if you feel like you are either a List, Love, and Liz or you are overwhelmed. I have a phrase, it's called my OMG girls. And you can drop in the comment box if you feel like you're a List, Love, and Liz and you procrastinate because you always find that you're writing all of these lists and by the time you get to the bottom of the list, you're overwhelmed, right? OMG is a signature Sister Sense saying, and for me, that is my ladies who are overwhelmed, manic geniuses. You're overwhelmed, you're over anxious, you're overthinking, you're manic, you are a freaking genius. But being a genius, being type A, you struggle with productivity, you struggle with clarity, you struggle with execution because you're always in this OMG space where everything feels heightened, right? So you can drop in the comment box if you're an OMG girl or you're a List, Love, and Liz. The reality is this. If you want to get to a place where you feel like you're on track and you're not behind, a big part of it is the big four that we're talking about today. You have to slow down, ask for help, stick to the plan, and share. Okay? Hey, welcome. Let's see. Manic Genius. Yeah. Yes. Dawn is laughing at me. Yes. So listen, first and foremost, if you're watching the live session, feel free to share this. If somebody is out there in your circle who needs to hear this, again, the conversation today is on how to slow down so that you can catch up and create amazing. Number two, if you are watching the replays, remember to drop in the comment box, #replaysrock. All right. So let's continue our conversation. So to that particular young lady, and maybe even to you who needs to hear this right now, if you do want to get better at getting things done, just look at that plan that you have and do that. Don't find yourself running in circles going, oh, well, something is missing. I've got to add 3 more things to the list. No, you've got to knock out some things off the list before you go into that other stuff. Now, it's interesting because yesterday when I sent out the email, I said, listen, things are moving fast all around us. So I want us to slow things down so we can talk about where you really, really, really need help right now. Okay. Now, if you struggle with sticking to the plan, hopefully you know that I do have the Stop Procrastinating Challenge, and I do have a few resources that I've put together to help you catch up and create amazing. You can find those at sistersense.com/CUCA. Literally today, you can create your own catch-up kit. That's one of the things that I have. Different resources that you can pick the ones that resonate with you, create your own catch-up kit, and get the tools and the services and the support that you need to succeed. Again, you can find that at sistersense.com/CUCA. Now, that I've said that, just to kind of put that to the side, let me say this. When I talked about the fact that life is moving fast, time is moving fast, and you need to slow things down, I said, you've got to be in a space where you ask for the help that you need. Ask for the help that you need. So what does that mean? For me, there are certain programs that I am working on. There are certain projects that I am putting out, and this month and the next 2 to 3 months into the future. And so one of the things that I've done is I've sat down and said, okay, this is what I can do for myself, but these are the things that I need other people to help me with. And who are those people that I need? I'm writing that down as well. So you've got to figure out what kind of help you need and make sure that you've got power partners around you who are going to help you do the things that you need to do, right? So in the message that I sent out to my community yesterday, I said, listen, if you need help, here are 3 things that I can do to support you. Number 1, go to the website. So make sure when you go to success.com/CUCA, click the voice message tab. It's a gray tab on the right. Send me a voice message. Let me know what you need help with. Get your ASK Ask in gear. Let's get clear. Closed mouths don't get fed. Write that down somewhere. Put it in your notebook. Put it in the comment box. Closed mouths don't get fed. When your mouth is closed, can't put nothing in there. And if you're starving right now, you're starving for support, you're starving for direction, you're starving for progress, you're starving to get back on track, you've got to get into a space where you open your mouth so that you can get what you need to replenish yourself. And a big part of that is making sure that you, number 1, identify who you need to support you. And number 2, you get your ask in gear. So I said to you when I sent out that message yesterday, and I said, listen, ladies, do you need help right now? One of the ladies in my circle, she said, oh my gosh, LaShanda, I love this message. I especially like that ASK, get your ask in gear, because that's a big one for me. I tell clients that all the time, because especially when you're an OMG entrepreneur, you can be in a space where you feel like you have to do everything on your own. Anybody feel like that? You ever feel like that? Like, I've got to do this and this and this and this. There are all these responsibilities that are weighing down on you, make you feel heavy, make you feel anxious, make you feel not so good about yourself, especially if you find that you're looking at other people and you're like, how come they got it together and I'm a hot mess? What's up with me, right? A part of that is that you've got all of this stuff that you feel like you need to do for yourself. And some of you don't like to ask. You either don't like to ask for help, or you don't like to ask a question because you feel like it's a simple question, it's a stupid question, and you should know this, and you almost feel ashamed to ask that question. I'm a service professional, I'm a web designer, and people pay me thousands of dollars to help them do stuff, and sometimes they're like, oh, LaShanda, I don't want to bother you, I don't want to. Boo, you paid your money. Honey, if you paid for something, you should be able to ask 3,000 plus questions. Some of you just, be honest. You're not in a place where you feel confidence or you feel like you even deserve or you don't want to bother somebody. Get your ASK ask in gear. Let's get clear. That's going to help you catch up, right? So I'm going to give you a great example of that. One of the ladies in my circle, Faye. Hey, Faye, I'm shouting you out today. If you watch the replay, go, hey. I don't know if you're watching live, but even if you watch the replay, say hey. Now, Faye was a part of the Girl Boss virtual workshop that I did a few weeks ago, and I helped ladies create easy ebooks, and I taught how I put together my easy e-courses, because you need to learn how to create quality content online in a way that works for you. So she came back and said, LaShanda, okay, my easy ebook, here it is, but I would love for you to create some mock-ups for me. How much would that be? I was like, okay, girl, this is the price. Let's do this. She paid for it. I created some graphics for her. She sent me the easy ebook. And I was like, the formatting could be a little bit better. So I updated the formatting for her. And Faye is a Latina. So she was like, oh my gosh, it's buena, it's perfect, it's bella, it's beautiful. She was like, listen, thank you so much, right? But listen, you can't just simply sit on things that you need. You have to get your ask in gear if you want to succeed. So yes, she did the DIY. Yes, she did the done for you training, and she got the template and started working on her easy ebook. But then when she needed other things, needed help with the layout, needed help with some mock-up graphics, she came to me, asked for help. We worked on it together. I call that my DWY, the done with you experience, and got it done. right? So the easy ebook is done. She's got her mock-up covers, on to the next thing, right? Sometimes things are not getting off of your plate because you're not asking for help when you need it. The day before yesterday, I hosted the first of the web classes in this Catch Up Create Amazing series. And one of the things I said to you is, if you want to create new normals in your life, new normals, desired normals, better results, you've got to sit down and look at these particular lists. Now, there's List, Love, and Liz, and I talked about her a little bit earlier. There's the good and the bad. Sometimes you create lists and you just keep going and going and going and going, and all you're doing is creating lists and not actually implementing. That's the bad. The good is when you can sit down, knock out a short list relatively quickly, look at the list, and then actually get started, right? So where is that? Hold on a second. I'm going to slide to the side for a second so that I can grab the new normal workbook. I've got all these workbooks over here, and Bryn is on the floor right by the ring light. I'm like, boo, don't you drop nothing. Because then the ring light, the tripod is going to drop. You're going to be looking up at the ceiling. I'm doing my session inside today, in the office today, okay? Because I was a hot mess outside. It was hot. I was sweating. I had sweat spots everywhere. I said, you can't be cute doing videos out. No. Porch videos are not happening until it's at least 60 or 55. So I get a nice breeze and I'm glowing, but I'm not sweating. It's a side note. But y'all know when you do a live stream videos, you got sweat everywhere. It ain't cute. It ain't cute. Oh, let me get this doggone workbook so I can share that with you. Okay. Things dropping in the corner. Oh my goodness. My office is definitely in need for a zhuzhing, a cleanup. I need to ask for help from my hubby. Can you help me clean my office, please? Okay, so this is the New Normal Life Design Guide and Workbook, which, by the way, is one of the resources available to you guys as part of my catch-up kit. So if you go to sistersense.com/CUCA, CU stands for catch up, CA stands for create amazing. You'll find a few resources there. One of the things you can do is create your own catch-up kit with some of the resources based on the ones that you feel that you need. So going back to the page that I talked about, I think 2 days ago, who is calling? Okay, that's not for me. Is that for me? No, that's not for me. Other phone. So we've got so many freaking phones, and my son is going to the 5th grade. He doesn't know this. I have to say it low because he might come in my room and go, what? So one of the older phones he's gonna get, he used to use my old phone and have him use it with the Wi-Fi, but he's getting a little bit older, so I think that he can take a phone that actually works and he can call me outside. He's going to be excited about getting a real phone for the first time, and he's going to be 12. How old did you give your kids their first actual real phone? I don't believe in giving 3-year-olds real phones, okay? You can get a phone and you can watch stuff on the Wi-Fi, but you're not getting call lines and all of this stuff until you old enough. I think he's mature enough at this point, but another conversation for another day. Those mommies out there who have older kids, y'all can let me know how old you think is appropriate to get the smartphone or the tablet or whatever that actually can connect and call the real people. I was like, listen, you can use the Skype on the Wi-Fi, but that's it. You ain't calling me and sending AT&T sending me some crazy bills. You ain't ready for that. But I think he's ready now. I think he's ready. Now, you know what's funny? I said to myself, I'm going to do, side note, I feel like I'm like on 50 tangents, but I said to myself, I'm going to do this thing inside because my last one was outside and it was hot as you know what. And now I'm inside with the ring light and the same thing is happening right now. The ring light is on me and I'm like, whoo, what is this? What is this? I need to just do live streams in the wintertime and the fall. No summer live streams. No. Oh my gosh. Woo! Also movement, y'all. I don't move that much. My behind is sitting in my office chair for hours upon hours, and then I lie in my purple couch. So, okay. I'm going to go back, right? So wait, Terry said, I did 12 also, LOL. Okay, good. Okay, good. So I'm not the only one, right? He's like 2-3 months away from 12. So this is a good time. All right. I need to get that confirmation, right? That confirmation that you're doing the right thing. Okay. So one of the pages in the new normal is this one right here. And you've got to stick to your plans, right? So mapping out your plan and then going back and remapping out it so you can master the plan. So important. This particular page I talked about in the last web class, and there are lists that are good lists, right? Kind of like when they say there are good fats and bad fats, right? Good carbs and bad carbs, bad lists and good lists. This is a good one. When you sit down and simply knock out either or all of the following. Get specific around the resources you have versus need. Get specific around the skills that you have versus need. Get specific around the people that you know who can help you versus the people you need to know who can help you, right? Those are the 3 categories / 3 lists that I have broken down here. The new normal is so extensive because I share with you the steps that I took to create new normals in my life and break it down so that you can process things that you need to do to create new normals in yours. There are things that you need to reflect on, things that you need to release, things that you need to plan, things that you need to act on. So many different wonderful steps as part of the experience. And as you'll see here, there are colors here because literally you're going through this experience of various steps to create your new normals. It's funny because one of my clients, when she got her workbook, she said, LaShanda, this is like going through the chakras. How did you pick these colors? And I was like, oh, I didn't even think about it. You know, when you're thinking about the different levels of your chakras and reaching that higher level of consciousness. And I thought, wow, that's just, you know, perfect in the synergy in that. But I didn't necessarily think about chakras when I broke down the various steps of the new normal. But that aside, I do want you to think about when you're asking for help and you're trying to stick to the plan, who do you need right now based on what you need help in right now? So before I do anything else, let me share with you what I shared in my email message to my followers yesterday. Maybe you got it. Maybe you're not on the list. Maybe you didn't see it. But I sent out a message and I said, listen, question, do you need help? If you do, here are 3 things that I can do with you. Number 1, what I can do is I can support you and answer a question, tongue-tied. Answer a question to point you in the right direction. There. And so a part of that is just you simply either emailing sistersense@gmail.com and saying, LaShanda, I need help with this. Or you going to the sistersense.com website and clicking the gray tab on the right to send me a voice message. And I got quite a few voice messages yesterday from ladies going, LaShanda, help me, please. I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to process that. I need direction here. And I was able to really one-on-one share my advice and recommendations. That's important because sometimes you want to serve people and you are sending out things based on what you believe they need. And sometimes people need something else and you're not even aware of it. So just as a side note, if you, like me, are a service professional, you may want to consider just reaching out to your community and saying, hey, do you need help? Check in and seeing what comes of that. That's just as a side note. And real talk, you guys can go, oh, LaShanda, that's a great idea. I think I'm going to do that today. You know, just kind of sending out a do you need help message and reaching out to your community and seeing who responds. But in that space, I was able to see that so many wonderful things came out. So many wonderful one-on-one conversations came out of just that. And I was just kind of floored when one of the ladies said to me, LaShanda, I was in near tears when I got this. And for me, I can only imagine for her to say that, you can find yourself in a space where you're just like, I don't know what to do right now. I don't know where to go right now. I don't know where to start right now. I am running on empty right now. Help. A quiet help, a silent help, an internal help, a help to the angels. And then literally the angel says in your inbox, do you need help? Right? You've got to be able to speak it out loud, to say it to the universe, say it to your spiritual higher power, say it to the actual people who you directly want to reach out to and say, can you help me? You need to be able to do that if you want to be able to move forward. That's a big one. That's a super, super big one. So I want you to think about today the 4 parts of this conversation, how to slow down so you can catch up if you're an overwhelmed entrepreneur. And one of the first couple of things I've been talking about today is really sticking to a plan, identifying what your plan is, what you need to do right now, and just do those things. If you say, okay, LaShanda, I need to do this, this, and this, then do this, this, and that. Oh, but I'm missing something. I feel like I need to be adding more things to your list. No, you don't. Do the things that you clearly know you need to do. Number 1. Number 2, ask for help. If you feel like in that list of things, there are some things that you can identify where you need some power partners to support you, then ask for help. As far as me and how I can support you as a power partner, I said, number 1, you can simply visit the website and send me a voice message when you click that gray tab. Number 2, I can help you. There are ladies who are online going, I need help with social media content. I need help with my digital content. I need help with my videos, my autoresponders. I need help with my service pages. I need help with my website. And I'm sitting here going, but I do that. Hello? I do those things. I literally have a done with you program so that I can help you with your digital products and your website. I literally have a graphics design package so that I can help you create 3D mock-ups, and I can help you edit your Canva creations, and I can help you create templates. Literally all of those things, by the way, you can find at sistersense.com/CUCA, which means catch up and create amazing, right? I've got those things there for you. So if you need help with your graphics or you need help with your digital content pages, your website pages, I do have the Done With You Look, Learn, Launch program, and that is there if you need that support. Now, if you are a service professional like myself, I said, take a page out of my book. Number 1, check in with your community and find out if they need help from you, not just the larger community, but individuals who see that message in divine right timing, then reach out to you and say, yes, how can you support me right now? Because this is where I am feeling lost, empty, and needing somebody to guide me to that next step. Number 2, I said directly, if you are as an entrepreneurial woman in a space where you need help with your social media content, your graphics, your web pages, your digital offers, your sales pages, your e-commerce store, that's what I'm here for. Jazz hands. And as I say that and share that website with you, again, it's Catch Up, Create Amazing, sistersense.com/CUCA. That's also if you want to look, learn, launch, because that's basically the name of my program, this is an opportunity for you to look, learn, launch, and answer this question. Are you letting your community know what you can do for them? Are you doing that? Catch Up, Create Amazing is you putting yourself in the conversation and reminding people of what you do and how you can serve them. Because believe it or not, sometimes I'm sitting here going, it's a no-brainer. I have the website, I have the videos, they'll come when they're ready. But guess what? You still have to put yourself out there, remind people that you're there for them when they're ready. You kind of sitting there, what is that? There was a movie that says, if you build it, they will come. You're sitting there with that website, with that series, with that service, and you're like, I'm waiting for them to come. Why are they not coming? Number 1, just like I'm doing right here, and I'm sharing, this is how I can help you. How constant and proactive are you at sharing what you do and how you can help and serve other people? Number 1, that's a big one. Number 2, do you have a list of power partners? Right? I said, look, this is the good list, right? Get specific. Who do you know versus who do you need to know to get started on that thing that you need to do that's going to help you with your plan? Because not all of it you can do by yourself. Some power partners like myself are service professionals who can help you build a better business. Other power partners maybe are JV partners that you do joint ventures or affiliate opportunities with. Other partners maybe are media connections who can put you in front of a larger audience, a media connection or a key influencer. You need power partners. And feel free to drop those examples into the comment box. Media connections, key influencers, JV partners, affiliate partners, service professionals, VAs, virtual assistants. Who do you need that you either know or that you need to find so that you can work towards sticking to your plan? One of my favorite quotes, I want to share this with you again. If you've heard me say it before, listen to it again. You are confused, not because you don't know what to do, but because you won't do what you know. You know you have a plan. You know there's a couple of things that you need to knock out, but you're sitting there overwhelmed. Wait. I got to add 3 more things to the plan. Wait, this doesn't look right. This doesn't look good. Am I missing something here? Do the stuff that's on the list. Get that stuff done. Phase in your greatness. That's how you're going to catch up. That's how you're going to interject yourself into the entrepreneurial webosphere conversation without skipping a beat. Sometimes you need to be behind the scenes, but sometimes you got to get in front of the camera, put yourself out there, and create conversation so that people know what you're doing. Right? Yes, Dawn is like, right. Ring light. The ring light, but you shine. Yeah. The ring light is for real. Now, it's so funny because you just brought up the ring light, I think, when I was talking about being hot. I do have a website, side note, y'all, sistersense.com/top tools. Feel free to drop that in the comment box if you can. sistersense.com/top tools, because people oftentimes ask me, what are the tools that you use? Your computer, your tripod, your ring light, da-da-da-da-da-da. Side note, if you need help in that space, then that would be a great website for you to go to, sistersense.com/top tools. Now, just as though I am sitting here and I am in a space where I know people ask me about my tools, so I created a resource page for that. People ask me about, LaShanda, I need help. I need you to help me with this digital product or web product. I've created a page for that. I need to catch up. CUCA, I created a page for that. You've got to be in a space where you stick to the plan. A part of that plan is you creating the content that you know you are supposed to be creating for your audience to serve. Another part of that plan is you doing the things that your audience is directly asking you for. You've got people in your community. So when you say, hey, do you need help? When I say, hey, do you need help? And people reach back and say, yes, this is where I need the help, then you create the service, or you get better at modifying your service to fill that need, right? So literally, when I did the first Girl Boss weekend, and I brought my ring, I have 2 different ring lights, and I brought all my tripods, and ladies were like, oh, this is nice. I like this. Where did you get this? I said, okay, I got you. Then I went back home after the workshop was done. I did a live one in Raleigh, North Carolina. Went back home, made my resource page. Here are all the things that because I did like an unboxing of my new laptop, which I love, my HP. Love it. And ladies were like, oh my gosh, where'd you get this? Where'd you get that? I made that page showcasing my top tools, right? So being in a space where you just knock out these things that help you, number 1, stick to your plan, and number 2, get better at directly serving those who are directly communicating with you. That's going to help you catch up and create amazing. Now, let's power pause for a second, because a big part of this is slowing down. So you got to sometimes pause, reflect, so you can move forward, right? I'm asking you some questions today. This is like a big clarity call. I usually do one-on-ones, but the web class is like a one-to-many, right? Who do you need? That was a big question. Who do you need? You can describe them in the comment box right here, just to give you an opportunity to process that. Who do you need right now? I know who I need. And I know some of you guys need to work with me if you need me, right? Whether it be working with me to help you with your digital content, your sales pages, or your graphics. Who do you need right now? I launched my Look, Learn, Launch, Done With You program so that I can help you do anywhere between 1 to 4 projects. And you can learn more about the graphic services and the Done With You services that I offer when you go to sistersense.com/CUCA. Okay? There's space for 10 ladies in the Done With You Look, Learn, Launch program, by the way. So you want to make sure that if it's something that you need, you do take advantage of it while you can. Okay? But with that said, not only do I know that there are people who need me, so I'm putting those programs and services out there to serve my community, I also know that there are people who I need, right, to work with me on my upcoming projects that I have within this month, next month, and the month after that. I try to work within a 30 to 90 day time frame. I try not to go as too far out there. Some people will go super, super far and they'll plan everything, right? I try to stick within the 30 to 90 day. When it comes to the whole year, I'll say this as a side note, I do have some things that I do as a business tradition. So I do know that there are certain workshops that I'll do at the beginning of the year, or my virtual conference that I'll do in October, or the fact that I do my clarity one-on-one calls on Wednesdays. There are certain weekly and or annual things that are just a part of my business that I have on my mental calendar, and I just know this is what's happening when. But when it comes to the projects that are gonna help me get to those larger success goals, I really try to focus on the 30 to 90 day time frame, okay? Just to kind of continue to help you guys with that clarity and direction. Now, that being said, outside of you thinking about for yourself, number one, who you need to help, and you making sure that you're consistent about putting out there how you can help others, because never assume that even though you have a website and you made a couple of videos or you have one opt-in offer that people know what you're doing. And never assume that even though they know, they remember. Because sometimes all they need is to see a quick video from you on Facebook or Instagram and go, oh my gosh, I totally forgot this girl. I am so excited to see you today. This is divine right timing. This is what I need. I'm jumping on today. You being consistent about that. And as I mentioned in the first web class I did, I said you've got to be able to share. You got to consistently share. And when you share timely information, you're never late. You're never behind, right? One of my favorite quotes is, I may be a little bit late, but hopefully I'm right on time. And so when you share relevant content that is going to resonate to your audience right now, it's something that they really, really need, you're never behind. You may go, oh my gosh, these people in my circle, they've been doing this every day for the last 3 years or 12 years or 2 years, and I'm just starting. I'm so behind. First of all, get your eyes off of their lane and stay in your own lane, number one. Number two, when you create based on what you know people need right now, you are never late. You are right on time. Does that make sense? You're never late when you focus on what people need right now and you just interject yourself into the conversation in divine right timing. So being in a place where you really get clear about how you are going to serve a particular person or a particular group right now is of the essence. When you go to sistersense.com/CUCA, which again stands for Catch Up and Create Amazing, you'll see that I've put together a few of my fabulous web classes, and I'm just sharing the replays on that page. One of them is on finding your one. One of my favorite things is the acronym MONEY, MONEY. Yes, there is, so many things that you can do with the word money. But I learned a few years ago, if you switch around the letters in the word money, they can turn into two words, my one. And I was like, oh, that's cool. So MONEY, switch around those letters and you get my one. And so if you watch that video, I talk about certain ones that you need to think about. One of my favorite acronyms focus is follow one course until successful. One is a powerful word. And one, and when it comes to slowing down, is a word that I'm going to talk about today. But when it comes to you finding one, in that video, one of the things that I said is find one way you can serve your audience right now and dig into that. Dig into that. So share timely content, number one. Number two, find one way you can serve your audience right now and dig in, dig deep. And then you can go into other areas, right? You're sitting there, you're making these lists and you're going, I want to do this and 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 this. Oh God, this is so much stuff. I don't know which one to do first. Good Lord. Right? Don't do that. Baby girl, don't do that. Find one thing that you can focus on and serve them there. Doesn't mean that you don't have all of these other things available. It doesn't. But it just means that you're going to dig in and find your one for right now. That's going to help you slow down. Remember, I said to you, I have something called the Stop Procrastinating 28-Day Challenge. It's a part of the catch-up kit. Normally it's 27. Right now it's 10. Grab that if you need it, because me sharing with you some things that you need to do to figure out how to focus on one task at a time and actually get done, that's there for you. Plus the Done With You program. I mean, there are different things that I've created to help you catch up and create amazing. And again, you can basically create your own catch-up kit right now. I can't say forever, but for as long as, number one, the program is available, and number two, these resources are available to you at a reduced rate. The New Normal Life Design Guide, the 28-Day Challenge, the 30 Ways to Maintain Momentum. Those are different resources that I've put together over this year and several years to really help others get back on track. Those you can find at sistersense.com/CUCA. Okay, feel free to drop that into the comment box for those who are participating in the experience. Feel free to check in with me and ask me any questions either at sistersense@gmail.com, email me, or when you go to the website, sistersense.com/CUCA, look at that gray tab, click it, send me a voice message so that you can talk to me and I can talk to you. You need to get help. You need help. Get your ask in gear. ASK. I always spell it because I never want people to assume that I'm saying something else, not the other one. Get your ASK in gear if you need help. Okay, let's get clear. That's something that you need to do so that you can start here and move forward. Now, continuing this conversation about slowing down, I said to you, ask yourself a question. What's one thing that you can do to serve your audience and focus on that right now, right? I also said to you, what's your plan? What's the plan? What are some things that you say I'm supposed to do right now? And you could just brain dump it. Literally, I did this activity before I jumped on with you today. Hey, Terry. Love it. Good. Oh my God, Terry, I haven't seen you in ages. So glad to have you here. So glad. Always excited when I can check in with ladies in my circle who are my OGs and my newbies. And of course, if you feel like this conversation is something that somebody in your circle needs to hear, sharing is caring. So feel free to share this web class. Also, by the way, I do put the replays to these web classes on YouTube as well. Now, just if you're jumping on here and you're like, what is this chick talking about? Again, as a friendly reminder, I'm talking about how you can slow down and catch up, especially if you feel behind or overwhelmed with respect to your life and your business goals. This conversation revolves around 4 things. You need to slow down, ask for help, stick to the plan, and share. Okay? And I'm breaking down all of these inside of the web class today, right? So, oh, I missed you too, boo. Actually, it's so funny because Terry is one of my previous web clients. It's so awesome to have her here. And in your website that we worked on, be encouraged, because I posted a web class a few days ago and it was stick to the plan and stay encouraged. And when I put stick to the plan and stay encouraged, literally I thought of you because I was like, oh my God, I couldn't remember the name. I was like trying to say be encouraged or stay encouraged. But yes, you've been in my thoughts, and I think maybe I telepathically said I need Terry in the mix right now. But it was your website, right? I'm not missing it because there's so many ladies in my circle. I'm not confusing you with somebody else. I feel like it was you. Oh my goodness. I so needed to see this. I need to reconnect with you. Awesome. Oh my goodness. It's been too long. So definitely check in with me. Email me, whatever you need, just check in. And I've got you. So, my apologies if I'm confusing you with somebody else, Terry, but I feel like it was your website, right? Yes. Okay. You're like, you got me right. All right. And your brand and everything about it. Loved the things that you created around encouragement for your community. And it just kind of, your branding and your message just popped into my head when I sent out that message and said, stick to the plan and stay encouraged. I thought about you that day. So awesome to have you here, my dear. So, yes, those 4 areas that we're digging into. When I said, you can definitely watch that video on sticking to the plan, and the other video on finding your one, some of the replays of videos that I've done, you can find at success.com/CUCA. Now, finding your one, doing one thing, focusing on the word one is a big part of the conversation around slowing it down. You got to slow it down. So I know that might sound weird, when you think about catching up, because a lot of times people, you want to catch up. And in order for you to catch up, like if you're running a race, you got to run faster, right? If you're trying to get to where other people are in their business, you got to work harder, got to run faster. How else can you catch up? But to be honest with you, one of the secrets to my success when it comes to catching up is slowing down. Slowing down. So last week or the week before last, I don't know. Days, sometimes they blur into each other. I went on vacation. I went to Florida, saw my family, did some things there, and then I came back. And of course, I'm sure you can identify with this when you feel like you need a vacation after the vacation. So I just kind of melted into my couch for a couple of days so that I could re-energize myself. And that's something that you need to do to reboot, right? But in that space, you also need to figure out how you're going to get things done without feeling like you've got to do everything all at once. Because here's the thing. If you are overwhelmed, you are going to underperform. That's just the truth of it. If you're overwhelmed, you're going to underperform because you're going to try to do every single thing versus on focusing on things that you can master and just kind of dig in there. Get clear about that. You got to slow down and kind of do the little things, one thing at a time, master those things and keep it moving. Now, what's interesting about this conversation is this morning, I jumped onto Facebook real quick just to kind of see what was going on and if I needed to do a little bit of update here, update there, sort of a thing. One of the ladies in my circle, she posted a message and she said, you know what, my anxiety attacks are coming back and I'm trying to do things and realizing that I have to work slower than normal. Her message really, it was, wow, that was a triggering message for me because yesterday I talked about things moving fast and needing to slow down. And for me, slowing down is a good thing. But when I started to read her message, she felt like slowing down was a bad thing because she's like, as it is, I'm feeling depressed. I'm feeling anxious. Now I have to work slower than I thought I needed to work. And I'm behind as it is. I've got to go slower. Right? But then she said, you know what? One of my coaches, don't know who the person is. She just said one of my coaches, they said to me, you just have to do one task in 4 of these categories. Do it one task. That's a personal task, a family task, a household task, and a business task. So she had those 4 categories: personal, family, household, business. Do one task. Do that. Okay, you're trying to overcome the depression, the overthinking, the overwhelm, the anxiety. One task in those categories. I thought it was so important to share that message today because it really was in line with the conversation I had yesterday around slowing down, asking for help, and figuring out what you need right now. Now, inside of the Stop Procrastinating 28-Day Challenge, one of the things I talk about is SST. SST is a way that I describe what I like to call a super simple task. An SST, a super simple task. So I loved how she broke down the message that she shared on Facebook this morning. And then she said, I don't know if doing one thing is going to really help me, but fine. I'm trying to tackle this anxiety. I'm trying to do what I need to do. I'm going to go back to what one of my coaches said, and I'm going to do one thing in each of these categories. One thing for the house, one thing for the family, one thing personal, one thing business, and we'll see. When I saw that message, for me, I was like, that's how I approach things. I never looked at it that way, but that's how I approach things. So honestly, when I came back, I was like, this vacation was killing me. It was like so many things to do, so many things happened. I was exhausted mentally and physically. And so some days I just kind of sunk in the couch, right? Did nothing. But then I started to get up. And when I started to get up, I focused on the SST, the simple, super simple task that I can do to move forward. So back to school time is coming up. I said, okay, you know, my son needs about 3 or 4 more things. I need to get some tissues, a 3-ring binder, what is it, permanent markers, you know, the school list, right? So I had to finish the school supply list, get up and get that done. I said, okay, I'll back off from vacation. I had all this, my wallet, and you can probably attest to this. Number one, if your pocketbook feels like you got a 10-pound baby in there or Jimmy Hoffa is in your pocketbook, that was my pocketbook, okay? Number one. Number two, if you have a wallet like my wallet where you can't close it because it's full of receipts, stuff falling out of every orifice, I got, you know, money, can't really close it because I got coins in the wallet, you know, when you're traveling, and I tend to drive to Florida, so I have pounds of coins everywhere for the tolls and all this craziness. My wallet was a hot mess. So literally I sat down and I said, okay, LaShanda, we need to do this. I think it took me about maybe 2 hours to clean out my wallet, go through receipts. You know, well, let me see what Terry says. Yep, that's my wallet and my purse. Right? And there were things that I needed to do. There were things that I needed to do personally, things that I needed to do for the household, for the family, for the business. So I just kind of said, you know what? All right, let me just sit down. And I dumped out my wallet. I dumped out my pocketbook. I had receipts all over the floor. You know, shredded what I needed to shred, picked up the ones that I needed. I had a few things that I needed to return, put those in bags. I went and I wrote the list. Okay, here are the last 3, 4 things that I need to get for my kid for back to school. And I went out. I got what I needed to get. I returned what I needed to return. I wish I had my pocketbook with me. I don't know where it is. You know, I cleaned out the pocketbook. Then you know what I did when I came home? I ate some ice cream and continued to binge watch Gilmore Girls on Netflix. Slow down. Slow down. And, you know, I love the way she described it on Facebook because I felt like it was the best way to describe what I did this past weekend. You know, I just did one thing for each thing and I felt better because it was done. Think about what you've got to do and try that. And, you know, it's interesting. I haven't sent her a comment for that particular post because I wanted to tell her that I talked about her message instead of my live stream. So I said, let me do the live stream, then I'll check in with her. Because one of the things I wanted to say was when she said, man, I don't even know if doing one thing is going to help. It helps. It helps. One way it helps, it allows you to switch the bad feelings to good ones. Because guess what? When you feel like you're behind, you're off track, you've got so much to do, you feel anxious. And one of the things she said, she struggles with anxiety. You feel anxious, you feel frustrated, you feel overwhelmed, you've got all this stuff to do. You got all of these icky feelings inside of you. The icky feelings cause you to not want to do anything. Anybody can agree to that or identify with that when you just don't feel good. And sometimes we identify that feeling as anxiety or depression or fear or, oh, I'm unstuck, I can't feel. Whatever you identify the feeling as, it's a not feel good feeling that causes you to sit there and feel behind. You just keep digging deeper into the no good feelings, right? And again, I can help you with this as part of the Stop Procrastinating 28-Day Challenge because I really have taken a lot of time to identify those things that hold you back versus the things that can move you forward. Now, the feel good is when my pocketbook was cleaned and I finished all my kids' school supplies because we're about to go to open house today so I can drop off the school supplies and get his spirit shirt and all of that stuff today. That felt good. When I was able to return a few things because they were on the back. Oh, LaShanda, you forgot to return it. You didn't return it. You didn't return. Why are you sitting here doing nothing? You've got things to do. All of those thoughts left me because I did what I needed to do. I returned what I needed to return. I finished the school supply list. My business. I kept saying to myself, okay, you know, you were out of, the office. You were not doing work. You were on vacation for 10, 11 days. You got to get back to work. You said you were supposed to launch the program. Launch the freaking program. You said there were things that you were supposed to update these things. Right? Okay. Look, learn, launch. Sat down, put together the sales page, broke it down, launched it. It was there. It was in my notebook. Anybody can identify with that. You've got ideas, you've got programs, you've got things that you want to launch, and it's sitting there. It's already done. You know what it includes, you know how much it costs, but it's sitting there, right? So I just said, okay, launch the program. Sit down, finish the sales page, write out the copy, launch the program. Go finish the sales, get the school supplies, right? Clean out the pocketbook. That changes the bad feelings to good ones because you're getting things done. When I started to map out the things that I wanted to talk to you about today, I wrote down, it will all get done when it gets done as long as you do something. It will all get done when it gets done as long as you do something, even if it's just one thing. That's going to help you feel better because you're in a space where you're building momentum. One of the resources that I have for you as part of the Catch Up Create Amazing kit, and literally you can go and create your own kit and put in it the things that you feel like you need right now to succeed and maintain momentum, is my 31 Ways to Maintain Momentum series. It's a series of live videos that I did over the course of 31 days to share 31 ways you can be consistent and stay on track, right? When you start to do those things, number one, you're going to turn the bad feelings into good feelings. You're going to reduce the whispers in your head that keep telling you, you didn't do this, you didn't do this, you're going to do this. Replace them with, oh, thank God, that's done. Woo, I got jolt of energy. Let me go do something else. Oh, okay, that's done. Woo, let me go do something else. Once you start to do the one things, they turn into 2 and 3 things, and then you start to, again, maintain your momentum and going from underperforming to performing at exactly the rate and level that you need to be. So sometimes you do need to slow down in order to catch up. Does that make sense to you guys? Yes? Yes? That, it's not crazy. I do know internally you feel like when you feel like that internal clock of something that needs to get done, you want to rush. But sometimes you do need to slow down to move forward. For me, when I talk about that as part of the 28-day Stop Procrastinating Challenge, one of the big things I talk about throughout the challenge is your SSTs, your super simple tasks. It was a no-brainer to sit down and clean up my receipts and get rid of the coins and go on a few errands. Those were no-brainers. But some days I didn't want to do anything. And when I didn't do anything and I sat down and did nothing, I felt super bad because those big things were still on the list. Do the super simple task until you can get enough energy, clarity, and motivation to go on to the bigger ones. The bigger ones, the MITs. The MITs I call most important tasks. And I go through different types of tasks and activities that you can do as part of the Stop Procrastinating 28-Day Challenge, which, as I mentioned, normally is a $27 28-day digital challenge experience. Right now it's $10 as part of the catch-up kit that you can create when you go to citizens.com/CUCA. So you may want to grab it today if at some point you want to participate in the 28-day challenge experience. It has not ended. It is a virtual challenge. It's audio-based. It goes into your inbox every day over the course of 28 days and starts when you activate it. So you want to get it. You might want to get it at the reduced rate before it goes up. But it is a part of what I call the catch-up kit, which is a collection of resources that I created to help you stop procrastinating, get back on track, maintain your momentum, and move forward, right? Even if moving forward means some of this stuff, you have to ask for help and literally say, LaShanda, can you do it for me? Which I can do for you as part of the Done With You Look, Learn, Launch program. All right? So let's continue this conversation around what it means to slow down. And you guys, you can let me know right now, for those of you participating live or even via the replay, if slowing down is something that you struggle with. You always feel like you have to be on. You always feel like you have to be moving fast because there are 15 things that you need to do. And if you don't knock them out quickly, nothing's going to happen. For me, slowing down literally is starting with the super simple tasks. Number one, for me, slowing down is do one thing today that your future self will thank you for. I love that statement, and I always share that statement with myself, and then I come on here and share that with you. So I love the message that I saw from the young lady today on Facebook, and she said, you know what, I'm struggling with anxiety, and I want to make sure that I can overcome it. So I'm going to focus on something that one of my coaches said, which is to look at these 4 parts of my life: my personal, my household, my family, and my business, and just do one thing for each of those categories. I don't feel like one thing is enough, but that's what I'm going to do. And I'm here to tell you, as I'm going to tell her, one thing is enough, because it starts the ball rolling and begins the process of you Lego affecting the process, where you go, oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, and all of a sudden, all of these things are done that you didn't think that you could do. Remember, I also said to you earlier on in this conversation that you've got to stick to the plan. That doesn't mean that you have to get everything right away. You know, today there are a few things that you need to knock out. So just knock out those things, phase in your greatness, and the things that you feel like are missing, they will become clearer to you the more you dive into the process of implementation and execution. Hello, Miss Gross. I need to head over the website. Oh, okay, awesome. So if you want to go to, I'm assuming you mean mine, but if it's another one, that's okay. Make sure that, again, you go to sistasense.com/CUCA at some point today if you'd like to learn more about things that you can do to catch up and create amazing. And of course, for those of you watching live or via the replay, you can drop the link into the comment box. For those who maybe they know me but don't know how to spell it, SistaSense, that's me, SistaSensE.com, sistasense.com/CUCA. Okay? To my website. Awesome. And of course, make sure that while you're there, if you need any help and you have any questions, click the gray tab on the right to send me a voice message. Alternatively, you can email me, sistasense@gmail.com. I know that ladies can be in a space where sometimes there are things that you need help around, but you don't know how to ask. So, maybe just starting to talk, send me a voice message and just see where that message goes, can, help you create a space where you're opening up more. You're opening up more. Part of this, you slowing down and catching up conversation, is you're holding on to a lot of stuff that's making you feel heavy. And some of this stuff, maybe you feel like you're holding on and you need to do it alone, but you don't. You don't. Even me, there are things that I need to do, and I'm always like, hey, I'm going to get my ask in gear. And I'm going to be honest with you, there are some questions sometimes that I don't want to ask. And they can be big questions, or they can even be simple questions. And I'm going to give you a full transparency, no embarrassment on my part, uncomfortable question that I had to ask. And I was like, listen, closed mouths don't get fed. So I said to you, man, I'm going to sit here and clean out my pocketbook and clean out all the receipts what do I need to throw away? Because I have all these receipts and things. And I found this receipt for something that I purchased, and I impulse bought it. And I was like, yeah, I don't think I'm going to use this thing. Now, I bought it in May, but I still have the receipt. And I said, you know what? Well, I'll go run my errands. Let me see if I can return this thing. And I was like, oh my God, I bought it in May. I haven't used it. The tag is still on it, but you bought it in May. I was like, oh my God, I kind of feel uncomfortable. I don't know if you've ever felt uncomfortable returning something. Like, oh my God, I bought it so long ago. What are they gonna think? Or, listen, boo, you have the receipt. You haven't used it. I, chewed the discomfort of not asking, said, hey, listen, I have it. What can we do here? The lady got the manager. The manager said, oh, if it's over 90 days, I can't give you your money back, but I can give you store credit if you want it. And I was like, yeah, because I shop here all the time. So great, right? There are times when there are questions that you need to ask that are big questions, but sometimes they're really simple questions and you just feel uncomfortable or embarrassed, or just full transparency. I mean, why did I need to be embarrassed about something that I wanted to return? Because oh my God, what are they going to think of me returning something that I purchased like months ago, right? So what? You know, sometimes we overthink things, and sometimes we think so much about what other people are going to think about what we say or do that we don't do the simple things that we need to do to just power through and be more successful in our life, right? I went there, I got my credit, I kept it moving, got some things off my list, maintaining that momentum. Hun, I need you to be in a space where you get more comfortable with being uncomfortable when it comes to you just doing what you need to do to move forward. Because for me, that was not a hugely uncomfortable conversation, but slightly uncomfortable conversation. But sometimes you have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable so you can move forward, right? Sometimes there are things that you want to do. Maybe I just launched my Look, Learn, Launch, Done With You program, right? Maybe there are those of you out there who are looking to launch a product, a program, a web page, and you've got some insecurities around it. There are some things about it that don't make you feel comfortable. And you're in a space where you're the someday Simone or the not ready Betty. These are different procrastinating pro personalities that I talk about in my challenge, right? Well, I'll do it someday, or I'm never quite ready. And a part of those personality traits that procrastinate is, it doesn't feel good. I feel kind of uncomfortable. I'm a little bit afraid about putting this out there. I'm a little bit afraid about launching this thing. So I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. Sometimes you've got to slow down the process, really get in a space where you can reflect on and be aware of the internal feelings that you're having and work through those feelings, whether it be you identify them so that you can remove them or you can just work with them. Because again, sometimes you have to be comfortable with being uncomfortable and just doing it anyway. One of my favorite quotes is, be afraid and do it anyway, right? Work through the fear. And doing one thing, focusing on simple tasks, are going to help you do just that, right? So those are some of the things that I wanted to share with you today with respect to some things that you can do to slow down so you can catch up and create amazing. Based on the conversation today, just to quickly recap, number one, I want you to identify for yourself how you can slow down. Where do you feel urgency? Where do you feel a push to rush? Where do you feel like you're hard, working harder and not smarter when you really just need to bring it back? Bring it back. Do a power pause. Reflect on how you can slow down and actually do one thing, two things, three things that just help you knock things out. Now, keeping that in mind, I said to you, that's number one, slow down. Number two, ask for help. Get your ASK in gear. You know, where in your life and in your business do you need help right now? I'm going to share something with you. Let me just get up for a second here so I can get one of my props that I want to share with you guys. Okay, so here's my prop. Do you use degree? I've tried to use secrets, not for me, but everybody uses something different, right? I watched this video on Facebook. I always find myself watching random videos sometimes, right? You know, the cat videos, the hair videos. Never mind, I'm natural, but I love a weave video, a braid video. I can sit those there and watch those all day. I saw this life hack video, and a young lady came on Facebook and said, listen, you ever have one of these things, these doggone deodorant things, and you take off the top and that plastic thing is there and you're trying to pull it off and you can't, your hand is slippery or it's hard to pull off and you're trying to use your teeth to pull it off. So I'm sitting there and I'm laughing because I'm like, yes, that is me. Literally, there are times when, you know, either I grease my hand before I need to do the whole deodorant thing, or for whatever reason, that little cap is on super tight and I cannot get it off. Have you ever experienced that before? Anybody? Is it just me? Am I crazy? Well, it couldn't just be me because she created a video on it, right? And so she goes, well, listen, as opposed to you trying to break a tooth, you know, try to pull it out, or you try to, you know, break your nails to pick it out, I've discovered something Mind blown. So she sits there with the thing, and I'm like, well, what is she gonna do? Does she have a device to yank it out? What is she gonna do, right? And so she does this. And she's turning the thing, right? So she's turning the thing, and the plastic thing pops off. Because obviously, as you're turning it, the deodorant is coming out, and the deodorant coming out is pushing the white thing off, and it pops off, right? So Marcy says, I just learned that trick, taking off the cap too, LOL. So Terry and Marcy, y'all know what I'm talking about, right? So I'm sitting there laughing because I'm like, this is a freaking no-brainer. And so the thing comes off, and she's like, mind blown, life changed, right? And so here's the deal. When I say to you that you need to ask for help, it's important to ask for help for a lot of reasons. Number one, I talked about sharing. And if you go back and you watch the other web class that I did on the first webcast that I did on catching up and creating amazing, I said you have to share 3 things. One of the things that I said you have to do is share the work. You have to share the work because some of this stuff you cannot do on your own. Right? And in sharing the work and asking for help, you have to realize that if you are feeling overwhelmed and anxious and everything about what you want to do is hard, you got to realize that if you slow down and identify people who can help you, those people, some of those people anyway, the qualified people, let's put the qualification on the front of that because not everybody is qualified to help you. Those who are qualified to help you for a particular purpose, they have no-brainer solutions. You see this right here? I can't tell you how many times I was rushing to get to a speaking engagement or a workshop, and I'm like, I need the deodorant to work, right? There are people who have no-brainer solutions that can help you because number one, they'll help you slow down so that as opposed to you rushing and feeling like you got to do everything, they doing some of the work for you. And number two, you trying to do it the hard way and they got the easiest of easiest no-brainer solutions right here waiting for you. And you don't have access to it because you're not asking for help. You're not directly asking people or asking the universe to drop somebody in my webosphere, in my universe that's going to help me. Pray for it. Ask for it and you shall receive. Marcy says sharing the work and asking for help requires that you have the right people that want to sincerely help you. Truly, really and truly. Which is why I believe in the power of divine right timing. I believe in surrounding yourself with qualified people. I believe that the success, and this is funny because, well, not funny, but this is perfect timing. One of the things that I do when, again, the kiddies go back to school, this is when I start my conversation around getting back on track and getting back to business. Back to Business is the title of my virtual conference that I do every year in October. The motto for Back to Business is the success of your business depends upon the company that you keep. So being in a space where you surround yourself with the right people is so important. It doesn't mean that you're going to magically know that everybody's the right body to work with. You will learn, as I've learned. Some people just ain't right for you, but you got to work with them first. You actually have to do the work to see, oh, whoo, no, never again, not again, right? And then some people you just synergetically, energetically connect to and go, yes, this person is for me. Either way, whether you work through it and you learn through the mistakes of working with the wrong people or you just energetically get the right people to come and fall into your lap, you do have to get into a space where you start to proactively do more of asking for help. Asking for help. You know, it's funny. I share this from the perspective of you just as a person asking for people who are, asking the universe or physically asking individuals, asking your higher power for people to come in your life and help you. But as looking at it from the purpose of if you're a service professional, and if you're a service professional, feel free to say, yes, I am. And, drop your service into the comment box. I'm a service professional. I'm a web designer. I do all these other different things, right? You've got to think about for yourself, on the flip side of this conversation as a service professional, what no-brainer solutions do you have sitting up in here, sitting in your office, sitting on your computer, and you're sitting there feeling behind. You're sitting there doubting yourself. You're sitting there overthinking the process. You're sitting there not putting yourself out there because you go, oh, this is easy. This is a no-brainer. Why would I even charge anybody? Why would anybody pay for this from me? This is a no-brainer. So you are super excited about the good that you create. Then you create it or you think about it and you look at it and the whispers start in your ear. This is no good. People can get this online for free. They can search for this. Why would anybody want this? No-brainers, mind-blowing, simple, easy solutions. People want those. They need those. They will pay for those. I need somebody to go and Google how much the family of the person who invented the straw is making. Because the straw is some damn piece of plastic in a little circular cylinder hole. But I can tell you I got 50,000 straws up in my car. Straws on my office desk. It's a no-brainer, but it is a powerful solution because if you got a cup of something and you need a straw to help you suck that stuff out, it is the only thing that you need. The only thing. So on the flip side of this conversation around, hey, ask for help because you need it. On the flip side of that is if you are a service professional who provides help to people, whether it's information, Regina's laughing at me. Hey, sweetie. Mwah. Hey, Regina, welcome. If you are on the flip side of this conversation and you are not putting your stuff out there because you feel like it's free or easy or a no-brainer or not valuable because it's so easy for you that, and you could do it, why would anybody want to pay you to do it? Realize that what comes naturally and easy for you is something somebody else is struggling with and they would pay for if they knew you could do it for them. So remember when I said ask for help? Outside of that, you got to go to your audience and say, does anybody need help? When was the last time you did that? I did that yesterday. I sent out an email and I said, listen, y'all, if you need help right now, number one, email me. Go to sistersense.com/CUCA because that's where you're going to find all the resources that I'm talking about today as part of the Catch Up Create Amazing Resource Solutions, right? Outside of the resources, send me a voice message. Email me. Send me a voice message. You need help with your digital content, with your graphics, with your offers. You need help with putting stuff together. You've got the ideas. Your notebook is full. Your mind is full, but you don't know how to quickly create. Stop sitting on all the stuff that you have to do and spending hours overthinking and underperforming. Let me do it with you. Join the Done With You program. Together we can do anywhere between 1 to 4 projects. If you need help, I'm here. Hello. Right? I'm doing that with my audience. When was the last time you did that with your audience? This process requires you to simply keep it simple. What can you do today to slow it down? Number 1, what can you do today to ask for help? Number 3, what can you do today to stick to the plan? Simply just do the things that you said you planned out and set out to do. And number 4, what can you do to share? Share, whether it's you going on and putting yourself out there, sharing your services, sharing a word of encouragement, sharing your content, sharing your product, sharing your website, sharing a blog post, sharing a video, sharing a podcast. What can you do to share today? Sharing your stuff or sharing the work, finding somebody out there, whether it be me or some other power partner who can support you, guide you, direct you, and help you get to where you want to be so you stop feeling so behind. Share the work. Share your best. I have what I call, Simon Says. I have something called Sister Sense Says, which is a collection of the statements that I've put together, my sage lessons learned. And one of them is always have something to always have something to say, always have something to sell, and always have something to share. As I'm sharing with you here, literally when you go to sistersense.com/CUCA, again, which stands up for Catch Up, Create Amazing, you'll see that trifecta is on that page. I always have something to say. And the message on that page is if you need help and you need to catch up, here are the things that you need to do. I always have something to share. The sharing on that page, I have an audio podcast, I have videos, right? I have things to share on that page. Some of that I create before, some of that I create on the fly, like I'm creating this live web class for you on the fly, but then I'm going to upload it to YouTube and people will watch it there. Always have something to say, always have something to share. And I have something to sell. So as an entrepreneur, I've created resources. I've created the Done With You Look, Learn, Launch program. So if you need me to do this stuff with you to help support you in your business building efforts, join the program. It's for 10 ladies, by the way. It's an opportunity for you to work with me on anywhere between 1 to 4 projects so that we can do this thing. Whether you need help with creating your own e-course, or you need help with creating a workbook, you need help with creating your own self-published magazine, you need help with creating your Hire Me content, your services pages, your packages, we can do that together as part of the Done With You program. Or you can identify some graphics that you need created. I can do that for you very quickly as part of the graphic services that I offer in my Create Amazing Graphic Services package, right? The resources that you need, that I believe that you need based on things that people are asking me for, that I've created recently and that I've been mastering and honing and crafting over the last few years. The Catch Up, Create Amazing resources are there for you at successsense.com/CUCA. So on that page, you'll see what I have to say, what I have to share, and those things that I sell to others who need my information DIY products, and also my DWY Done With You versus DFY Done For You services, right? That's a perfect example of my signature citizen statement. Always have something to say, always have something to share, always have something to sell. So if you want to see it in action, or you want to take advantage of some of those resources, that's a great platform to take a look at. So that's all that I wanted to say with you today. I know it's a mouthful, but hopefully it helps to full you up, especially for those of you who are feeling depleted right now, feeling like you are starving for somebody to fill you up so that you can focus and move forward. All right. Again, my name is LaShanda Henry, aka Sister Sense. If you feel like this is something that you've gotten something from today, whether you're watching live or via the replay, feel free to drop into the comment box. Let me know if any of these recommendations hit you, resonated with you, if there's any question that you're going to answer, any task that you're going to focus on. Again, the 4 things that we talked about today when it comes to slowing down so you can catch up. We talked about number 1, how to slow down. Number 2, how to get help. Number 3, sticking to the plan. And number 4, share. So drop in before I go with what, if any of these are things that you're going to focus on today. Number 1. Number 2, remember that the resources, recommendations, and some of the web class videos that I've created, maybe that you've seen or maybe need to see again or you haven't seen before, whatever the case may be, some of those web classes you can find when you go to sistersense.com/CUCA. Plus today, you want to make sure that if you do have a need that needs to be filled, you get your catch-up kit. Create it, okay? So their catch-up kit, essentially when you click the link to create your catch-up kit, you'll find Sister Sense resources that I've created to help support you on your journey. Maybe you need to get the Get Back on Track audio series. Maybe you need to sign up for the Stop Procrastinating Challenge. Maybe you want to watch my 31-day, 31-way videos on how to maintain your momentum. Maybe you want to sign up for the Done With You program. Maybe you need graphics done or Canva items created. Whatever you need to catch up and create amazing, you'll find several resources for you there. Some of those resources, by the way, I've put today at a reduced rate of $10. So for less than $20, some of these resources are available for you just for this time period, because in this time period, I know that, especially for those ladies who had a lot to do over the summer and you're transitioning into the next phase of your business, you're going into the final quarter of the year. It's so important as the kids go back to school, we get back to business and back on track. I made sure that I offered you quite a few resources in varying rates so that you can find the resources that you need to succeed, okay? So again, you'll find those there at sistersense.com/CUCA. And of course, at the very least today, all you need to do is just send me a voice message and say, I need help. I need help in this direction. And if you could point me in the right direction, I would be forever grateful. Regina says, LaShanda, every time I hear your voice, I'm like, I'm at peace. I can do anything. You are so amazing. Oh, thank you, Regina. Can I say, by the way, I saw some of your videos on Facebook yesterday, and I was like, ooh, look at her here. She's so beautiful. She is popping. So I love you and all that you do. I support you. Regina is so amazing, and she is a homeschooler. I gotta tip my hats off to all the homeschoolers in my circle, because I'm a work-at-home mom, but I am not a homeschooler mom. It is a whole lot of work. And when I talk about needing help, if you are a homeschooler mom or you need somebody to help support you on your journey, Regina is definitely the lady that you need to talk to. So ask for help. Be in a space where you can align yourself with the right people. Please, please, please feel free, Regina, and all the ladies here, whether you're watching live or via the replay. If there's one thing that you got right now that you're looking to help and serve people around, please feel free to drop that link and that resource into the comment box, because of course, sharing is caring. It's one of the things that we talked about today. So thank you so much for that kind word, that supportive word, Regina. I welcome again you and all the ladies here watching live and via the replay to drop in at least one service that you're focused on helping people around right now. I know that you have tutoring services and homeschool programs. You got a lot, but just share one that you're focused on right now. And of course, make sure that you include a link to it. So if anybody needs it or wants to support you and share it out in any venue, they can do that as well. Alrighty, my dears, I am going to jump off here for today, but I'm actually going to do one more live stream so I can walk you through some good that I have been creating recently. So look out for that live stream coming up in just a second. But of course, till then, my friends, thank you so much. Definitely feel free to let me know what you're going to work on today based on what we talked about today. And hopefully I'll see you I will definitely see you right back here in a minute or two with another dose of Sister Sense support services and daily direction.